My shit, 1, 2, you hear me? Run it back, run it back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's time to lead the enemy desolate. I'm heaven sent. These niggas just on some extra shit, and I ain't impressed with it. Could you kick that bullshit to the left of it? And look, you can't deny this excellence. I use this mic like weaponry, and I've been seeking more clarity. Right now I'm ready as I'll ever be, rugged as I ever been. The devil knocking at my door, I'ma let him in, cause I'm a worthy adversary. Pour them liqueur, laced with rosemary. It's time to grind, ain't no time to tarry. Take one of mine, get your soul carried. I got them worried, plus these niggas full of estrogen. They fickle, they false. Got a big goal, so end up in the real issue. Fuck with my brethren, I deal with you. Yeah, look, it's getting real official. Seeing how the bitches can cross you, and how they still twist you. It'll hit you, they peel the tissue. Them mothers weak, my brother's been sent to the deep. So tell me, how can I turn the other cheek while this wicked world trying to smother me? Something gotta shake, I'm gonna cry it out. Time to gird up my loins and ride out. In my soul, I feel devastation. In my eyes, I see desolation. On my door, death is waiting. But I don't wanna see no more desolation. I said, I don't wanna see no more. Hey, in my soul, I feel devastation. In my eyes, I see desolation. On my door, death is waiting. But I don't wanna see no more desolation. I don't wanna see no more.
Beat the cops, beat the ops, beat the motherfucking eyes. I'm the one. Why you think that I've been rolling with a Kai? Your little arms is too short to hotbox with guys. French is long, team strong, with them a gunned out would die. Tired of these fake snakes, crooked names who oppress Jake. No pressure makes diamonds I won't break on this crooked landscape. We gon' make some shake, so I ain't got time to argue with you fucking reprobates. While these crackers getting richer when we raise the crime rate, and they hunt my people like gorillas and some primates. So we in these streets trying to raise a brother's mind state in every concrete jungle, alleys and tri-state. I buried brothers over beef that they couldn't squash. Blood in the streets, brains out like galosh. I trust the cracker when I mix that squash. Listening to real niggas, dog, who can't be bought. Whoa. Why you think I go so hard? Cause this world's fucked up, nigga, I've been scarred. PTSD, brothers can't drop their guard. Every day some bullshit, you gotta weave and vibe. There's no facade, so every day I'm on my job. It's time to send these devils to the land of Nod. Cause when I lost my religion, that's when I found God. So when I lost my religion, nigga, I found God.
In my soul, I feel devastation. In my eyes, I see desolation. On my door, death is waiting. But I don't wanna see no more desolation. I said I don't wanna see no more. Hey, in my soul I feel devastation. In my eyes I see desolation. On my door, death is waiting. But I don't wanna see no more desolation. But I don't wanna see no more.
According to God, the white man is the devil.
See, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white ass, need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that let bygone be. Boy, ass need to stop and ask you to prop. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. Oh, he cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed he up on parole. because of the COVID. It feel like the host in this world that don't go together. Nowhere is gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. Yeah, see the props. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass see the props. Like we all come together. Cause they say God so loved the world. God so loved the world, and boy, your ass need to stop it, ass see the props. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass shit. Oh, I'm gonna step, I'm solid for show. To the fake niggas, stay silent, I got it, let's go, let's go. I ain't taking no loss, ain't no talking when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with your own. I'ma be low to the right arm. Tell them we can't keep it slave. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got you, baby mother on high, baby pass through the fire. Ask you the props, that baby so below to the Lord. I dare you abort it. Never will fail you, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Push your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop, their ass see the props.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass shit. Give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rapper, busy man shit, nigga. They take their head over, nigga.
I pray where Eve did to Adam. I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert. Another cop can stretch the nigga. He ain't demon, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gonna get active with you. From the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit, and I ain't listening. Is in fact the fear. Revenge was a woman, now I scope that bitch like Jake. So I war, we gon' run the summer. It's gonna be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't be too daddy. Bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real trigger know them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he saying something, I ain't hear. This shit light work. It ain't about who got the gun, it's about who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game change. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raise up the chain. Free shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never fight the hand that feeds you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitch about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody won't be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Valvo. A certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow side, yeah, this the rim accord. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fairfield, you feel your boy. Still up on my bread, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get it, boy, lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his gang, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Damn right, I'm a UPK nigga. Straight out of one West, no contest. We the best to the niggas that's living, trying to contend with the stress. Going through the test, no access, cause you repressed slaves. Niggas is dying off in waves. Living in dirt, now it's a grave. Niggas cross-talk through the crosswalk, or the white chalk over the bodies of roads that you paid. Americans killing us, saying they fearing us, put the drugs in the hood. Now my niggas delirious, put a gun in my face. All because of my race, click, boom, flash, put some Skittles to murder my ass. Like a sheep to the slaughter, heart beating harder and harder. Baptized with these words, never dipping in water. So now we pray to the Father, give strength to the Father that's looking for the marauder. That's fucking taking our daughters, nigga, it's wartime. Lights up, nigga, showtime. Got the green light on that ass, yeah, go time. Either boot up, shut up, but get your ass up, cause we ain't got time to be playing. It's all fucked up America. Heaven for the thief, hell for the slave, reaping what you sow, meaning giving back what you gave for a clean slate. You try to imitate, you was always fake. America, every city, state, this is your fate. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America.
Going on the timeline, giving the rhythm to expose the intricacies of things. Vibe, doing my rank shit. Forgetting it is a pastime, so in a minute, I'm pass out. I hope you get it. If you didn't, you can crash flying. Kinda simple if you feel it, catch your last line. But it will confuse a bad mind. A damn shame. It's the exact thing on which your ass fried. Bombs from the sky, rich devil lullaby. Then the nigga fly. Hope you got an alibi. Bombs from the sky, rich devil lullaby. Devil misses high. I can see him from the parking lot. Heaven finna ball out. Devils finna fall out. All out warfare, nightmares in the big house. They murdered us for years and thinking shit won't turn around. Pride never learned. This motherfucker burns down. Yelled in the streets. Told them to breach. Now all of you ain't bring woe to this beast. You rule for a time, but we play for keeps. I pray to my Father, bring woe to this beast. Remember them times we hung on them trees. All of you nations bow down to your knees. Remember them ships, they brought us some fleets. Fuck the Apollo, bring them the heat. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, whoa, to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, whoa, whoa. To America.
God is going to destroy this empire, man. You about to see famine in this place. You think them fires in California is bad? That's just the beginning of what the Lord is about to do. Because you've been evil to the Lord's people. You've been wicked to the Most High's children, man. You've been destructive to the 12 tribes of Israel. Let me tell you something, black man. You got to put on your strength now, man. Put back on your strength and might, black man, because your day is coming. Your day is coming because the Lord is going to bring judgment on this earth.
I got you. Let it vibe real quick. Look.
The city eyes, it's time to folk off. My God, a real nigga, cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shot in the closet by the mob.
Good. Yeah. All right, y'all clap it up. Shalom, Israel. We're the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of Harlem, 125th Street, 1 West, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. We are here to teach Hispanics, Blacks, and Native Americans who they are according to the Bible. You are the lost sheep of the house of the children of Israel. So if you are Hispanic, if you're Black, if you're Native American, if you live in the barrios, if you live in the ghetto, if you're on a reservation, if it just so happens that your oppressor is a so-called white man or a European, most likely you are an Israelite. And it is a blessing to be so, because out of all the families on the earth, and there's a lot, there's a total of 18 nations on this planet. Out of all of them, the Most High chose us. So that is honorable in itself. And I wouldn't want to be anybody else. So with that, today's topic is brotherhood. Uh, the and this is what Christ based his whole life on. The whole reason he came was for that reason, to show us brotherhood. And it's not right for us to go about lives and not practice what he ultimately died for. You know what I mean? Um, we are something that we lack as a unit, as a family, being Hispanic, Black, and Native American. And those are just titles, by the way. Those are just what are they called? Bywords and right bywords. Those are titles that are given to us, but ultimately we're all the same people with the same family. We just the only barrier we have is our language, because there's Hispanics that look black, there's blacks that look Hispanic, or Native Americans and natives that look Mexican, and Mexicans that look, you know what I mean? It's like we're like uh, a cake not turned. You know, we come in all, we're as a speckled bird. But one thing we do have in common is the spirit, and we have the Holy Spirit, and that speaks for itself and how we conduct ourselves, how we carry ourselves. Our people, we get a bad label as being, like you said yesterday, you call bad hombres and stuff. You know what I mean? We get labeled as criminals and offenders and drug traffickers and violent and drug addicts, alcoholics, and what have you. But the truth of the matter is, man, we are peaceful people, and for that reason alone, that we so peaceful and so kind, and we are so in harmony. That was one of the reasons that we were able to be conquered so easily and so fast and swiftly. Aside from not following the law, statutes, and commandments, Columbus wrote it himself in his diaries. He said that these are peaceful people. They're easy. They're with 50 men, I can conquer them. You know what I mean? After we receive them with open arms, show them, show their filthy butts how to shower, how to groom themselves, how to survive off the land, and they turned around and slew us in return. Anyways, nonetheless, we're gonna get into this topic. Then give me Acts 2:44. Salam Yahbashin Yashakata to all the brothers. Salam Shemat Yahbashin Yahweh to all the sisters. Go ahead, give me what I asked for.
2:44.
That's right.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 44. And all that believed were together and had all things common.
All right. So this is talking about, this is a great example of brotherhood. Because, well, we're gonna come back to that. Give me Amos 3:3 first. So like Amos 3:3. We do have to have something in common in order for brotherhood to work. So one thing we have in common is that we family. That's something we have in common. But there are numerous things that we have to acknowledge and recognize before we can continue. You got it?
Amos 2:3?
Nah, Amos 3:3. We'll start with that.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed?
Right. Can you and I, can we go about life and walk? And walking don't mean just like taking a stroll down the street or the sidewalk. Walking means like, can we live in accord? Can we live peacefully amongst ourselves? Can we agree that we have one God? Can we agree that we are not to celebrate certain Christian and pagan holidays? Can we agree that we're supposed to celebrate what the Lord, what our power, what the Most High has ordained us to? You know what I mean? Can we agree not to eat pork, shrimp, or lobster? You know what I mean? Can we agree? You know what I mean? Like, as we go throughout life, like, are me and you on the same book? Are we in the scriptures? Are we in this body of Christ? You know, because if we're not, then you can't walk with me. I can't walk with you. You know what I mean? If you into all that, then if you're into a life of sin, the best I can do is help you. That's the best I can do, but I can't join you in it. You know, and vice versa. If I was doing the same, I wouldn't expect y'all to join me with it. But I would just like, and I would expect y'all to help me. And just like I will help you as well. You know what I mean? That's brotherhood. Is there more on that?
Verse 4. Will a lion roar in the forest when
no.
he hath no prey?
No, we're good on that. Let's go back. So let's go back to Acts 2:44.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 44. And all that believed were together and had all things common.
So we have a book of records, right? That's what the Bible means. It's Greek for bibliotex. That means the book of records. And that's what our book is. But it's also a constitution. It's laws on how to conduct yourself being God's chosen people. It's a law on how to behave. You know, we are, after all, we are his representatives. You know what I mean? When judgment comes, we're supposed to be the ones that all nations are eventually going to look up to. You know, as their kingdom falls, the new one rises. That'll be us. Right. So, like I said, if we can't walk together, then if we can't agree on such little things as like our dietary laws, practicing the Sabbath, like things of that nature that only belong to us, then we're not following what the scriptures is telling us to do, which is what started again.
And all that believed were together and had all things common.
Right, together. That's ultimately what brotherhood is. It's coming together. Long story short, it's helping each other, being there for one another. The tough times and good times, whenever it is, you know, and sometimes it's a hassle. I know personally, I cause a lot of brothers to, I cause them a lot of, I don't say pain, but, you know, like some brothers been frustrated at some of the things I've done, but I'm glad they stuck with me. And that's one of the reasons I'm still here. You know what I mean? That's love, and you can't find that anywhere else. Matthew 5:48.
48?
God, yeah, Matthew 5:48. Oh, we only read 44, right?
Yeah. I already read it.
All right, go to 45.
Okay, Acts.
Yeah.
Okay, go back to Acts.
No, that's my bad, bro. I ain't see that on my notes.
It's the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 45. So like, scroll down to it.
You can start at 44 again. Because it goes, my bad. I skipped that. So like,
it's all good.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 44. And all that believed were together and had all things common.
Right? We already covered that. All in common. You know, we have everybody in this classroom, we got one thing in common.
Right.
And we're attending the service. You know what I mean? We're on the same page. We're not here sitting. We're not here doing what we're not supposed to do. No, we have that in common. If you didn't believe in the same and the only God that exists, you wouldn't be here.
Right.
So we have that in common. We walking together, right? So we're gonna walk through these scriptures too. Go ahead.
Verse 45.
Mm-hmm.
And sold their possessions and goods
Uh-huh.
and parted them to all men
Mm-hmm.
as every man had needed.
All right. Go ahead.
Verse 46. And they continuing daily with one accord.
With one accord, with one step.
Right.
You know what I mean? Together. It's like a march. You know what I'm saying? We're moving in unison. All of us. It's not just here in San Antonio. It's international. Like the same things that's going down here as far as brotherhood and the school is concerned. It's the same thing that's happening in New York and in England and in Brazil. You know what I mean, we're all in the same accord, right? It's only righteous. You only find that here. Go ahead.
With one accord in the temple.
Mm-hmm. In the temple. So in the school, and including yourselves, because you yourself are a temple.
Right.
You know what I mean? You yourself, that's why it's important to be clean. That's why it's important to not sin. You know what I mean? Because you're staining the temple, you're dirtying the walls. You know what I mean? So in the temple, go ahead.
And breaking bread from house to house.
And breaking bread from house to house. That's something I love about the UPK. And one thing is that, like, if I eat, you eat.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, like there's a saying in Spanish, you know, and it translates to, like, with me, you'll never have empty stomach or you'll never be barefoot. And that's real here. That's what we practice. That's brother. You know, if I gotta give you my shoes, I got you. Right. You know what I mean? If I gotta wear one right shoe, you could wear the left one. You know what I mean? So, you know, you got we
hop together.
Right. We you know what I mean? We got eat ramen noodles for a week. Let's do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go ahead and start it again. I like the scripture.
The book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 44.
Mm-hmm.
And all that believed were together
Mm-hmm.
and had all things common.
Right.
Verse 45.
Mm-hmm.
And sold their possessions and goods
Mm-hmm.
and parted them to all men.
So their possessions and goods. Sometimes we make sacrifices. Right. You know what I mean? But it shouldn't, like, don't look at it as a sacrifice. You know what I mean? Because it sounds iffy, you know what I mean? It's like, because sacrifices usually consist of like turmoil. It's like, damn, I gotta do this. You know what I mean? Right. It's heavy. Don't look at it as that. Look at it like, yeah, man, that's my brother. Right. That's my sister. I'm gonna look out for them. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody else will. Right. I mean, who else is gonna lend you a hand outside of the UPK, and outside of your people? Even in the world, we do that, right? Especially Hispanics. Well, all of us, Hispanics, Black, Native Americans. Like, when push comes to shove, right? They're like, we're there for each other, whether we like each other or not. You know what I mean? When the oppressor comes against us, you know what I'm saying? We unite, whether we have differences with each other. Like, we're there at the end of the day because we recognize we're the same people. We're in the same struggle. We're in the same fight under the same oppression. You know what I mean? But knowing that in the school, like, it's a joy. You know what I mean? It's a joy to do that because not only it's not for you. You know what I mean? It's for your brother. It's for your sister. It's for them. And as long as y'all right, then I'm straight. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Verse 46.
Mm-hmm.
And they continuing daily with one accord
Mm-hmm.
in the temple.
Mm-hmm.
And breaking bread from house to house.
All right, breaking bread, sharing what we got. You know what I'm saying? We share our food. We remember the other day we was talking about that Chola culture. I know a lot of us, especially the grown-ups here, I know you remember the hand-me-downs.
Right.
You know what I mean? 'Cause I used to wear my elder siblings' clothes and my other cousins' clothes, and I didn't like them. They weren't flying up, but I had to wear them. they were too big on me. But you know what I mean? Like we share. That's what we do. You know, it's better be out there dressed than not, right? I mean, we share our food. You know what I mean? Brothers, you know, brothers here, ancestors here, like we argue over who's gonna pay the bill. Who's gonna pay the water bill? Who's gonna pay the electric bill? Who's gonna, you know what I mean? Who is short? Who's short on their bills? You know what I mean? All right, let's come on, let's link up, let's come together. We wanna figure this out. I mean, opposed to being in the world, if you don't have it, then if the oppressor most likely will help you. If they don't give it to you, then you out of luck. You know what I mean? Not here though. You know what I'm saying? Here we, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to outdo your brotherhood, but nobody does it better than Kabar though. He take he takes the crown for that. Go ahead.
Did eat their meat with gladness and singleness of heart.
Right. Unselfishly. Singleness of heart. You know, the little we have is enough. You know what I'm saying? Give us this day our daily bread, right?
Right.
That's all we need. As long as we got enough for the day, together, collectively, that's all we need. You know what I'm saying? The past is gone, right? The future ain't here yet.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? We'll cross that bridge when we get there, but we'll do it together.
Right.
You know what I mean? Read that again, folks.
Verse 46, and they continuing daily with one accord in the temple
Uh-huh.
and breaking bread from house to house,
Mm-hmm.
did eat their meat with gladness and singleness of heart.
Yeah. Unselfishness. You know what I mean? Like, that's lovely. And in the world, it's unfortunate that we do this, but in the world, we'll tell you to figure it out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's like,
Go ahead.
if I may, and even if you do receive some type of brotherhood in the world, right?
Right.
Your so-called friends and family will count favors.
Yeah.
They'll count favors on you. Like, hey, bro, remember that one time that I did whoop for you?
Right.
Like, hey, man, I'm gonna need that back with interest.
With
You know what I mean?
entrance.
With interest.
That's
Right.
heavy what you say.
Right.
That is
I
also.
mean, it's just
Mhm.
that's the way it is in the world, man. Everybody's cutthroat, and it's
Mhm.
it's a crab in a barrel mentality.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, I see you struggling too, but what about me? Me,
Right.
me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, the water Yahweh Shai for commanding Junior Han is keeping on to this truth because, like, if I was still stuck in the world, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, Lord knows where I'll be right now. Lord knows where I'll be. I know I wouldn't have a place over my head at night. You know what I mean? I wouldn't. I'd be out there somewhere. I don't know. Probably, grinding and trying to get out the mud. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
What you saying is heavy though. Like, real talk. We do expect a reward for doing good.
right,
That's just anybody. You know what I mean? Well, not in the school, of course. But we do expect, you know what I'm saying? I do a solid for you, then when I'm down when I'm down in life, and I see you got it, then I'm gonna come to you like, you remember that one time? You're right. We do that, and that's not proper, man. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna there's this singer, this ancient, I like old music. This singer from the 1920s, Ephraim, my brother. He made it big because he went from Puerto Rico. He made it up to the States, right? And his music was like revolutionary. He invented salsa basically. So he became huge here, right? And he started, and back at the time, 1920s, $1 million, $100,000 is a lot. He was making millions, and he took his bread back to his land, to his island, and he was just handing it out to everybody. And I remember in the interview later on, as he got older, they asked him like, it was like, why are you giving all these people money? You know they're gonna do what they're going. Basically, they said that, they're gonna use it for things they shouldn't, right? And he was like, man, if I'm gonna give to everybody. You know what I mean, so it's just this. It's kind of the same principle. Like, if you're gonna do something good, just do it, man. Like, don't expect nothing back. It don't matter who you're doing it to. Christ is a great example with that woman. Remember, he tugged on his garment.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he was like, it's not meat, it's not proper. You know what I mean? To give the children's.
Oh, it's like that's another.
That's a different one. All right. So help me out here.
Well, it was a woman. She had a issue of blood for a certain amount of days, right? And
Right.
he was walking through the crowd. It was a real heavy crowd everywhere. Christ, wherever he went, there was a crowd.
Right.
Well, she touched the bottom of his garment. She touched the fringes, his fringes, and she was healed. You know what I mean? That's the account you're thinking about, right?
Nah, I was talking about the one that had the daughter that was sick.
Oh, you're talking about the heathen?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Was I going in the right place? I think I was. But anyway, it's like it's not meat, right?
Right.
For to give the bread to the dogs and whatnot. But she understood her place and he ended up helping.
Right.
So he didn't, you know what I mean? Like, she understood and he still helped, you know what I mean? Right. Just like we do here in the school, when we go out and feed and clothe the homeless. I mean, like we don't just give it to our people. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's whoever's struggling, man. We're not like them. You know what I mean? And definitely not like us.
That's right.
I mean, so we follow that example. Now we can go to Matthew 5:48.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 48. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
All right. Be ye therefore perfect. Being perfect is following the laws, statutes, and commandments, right?
That's right.
So now let's say y'all was in the world, right? And I tell you, like, hold on, by the way, what color are these words written in?
Red.
Right. So if we know how to read the Bible and we know the text in it, the context of it, when it's red, that means Christ said it. Are you going to go against Christ, the greatest man to ever walk the earth? Right. He said what again?
Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
Father, law, statutes, and commandments. Right. Be perfect. And being perfect, there was there are two greatest commandments, right? All of the commandments are great. But there were two that Christ has satisfied the question that was asked to him. He answered and said two of them, the two most important ones, which was to only to love God and to love your brother, right?
Right.
So that's part of being perfect, brotherhood. And if you were to tell somebody in the world to be perfect, what is their response?
Like, if I may.
Go ahead.
We can't be perfect.
How come?
They say we all fall short of the glory of God because we all sin. That's what they would say.
Right. You're absolutely right. But another thing they would say, though, and I get this a lot, is that there was only one man that was perfect.
Right.
And that is Christ. We about to nip that in the bud right now. Give me Genesis 6 and 9. So those that the only Christ was perfect, right? And we all fall short of the glory, right? That's what anybody in the world would tell you. You got it?
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
These are the generations of Noah.
Mm-hmm.
Noah was a just man
A just man,
and perfect in his generations.
a sinner,
And perfect
a liar,
and perfect
a thief,
and perfect
a murderer,
and perfect
a drug addict,
and perfect
and what?
and perfect in
And
his
what?
and perfect
I thought Christ was the only perfect one.
and perfect
Go
in
ahead.
his generations.
In his generations.
And Noah walked with God.
Oh, walk with God. You gotta be perfect to walk with God. Just like Christ was perfect and walk with God. So don't say you can't be perfect. There's only one criteria. Well, let's dumb it down. There's 3 criteria to being perfect. That is to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
Those 3 things, if you do those 3 things, you are classified perfect, just like Noah was. He was a just man. He was not about sinning. He walked with God. You know what I mean? He walked with God. Oh, let's do 2 more. Give me Job 1:1. Because Christ, Christ was the only perfect, and we all fall short of the glory. And Christ was a man just like everybody else. He got tempted too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He talked to the devil himself. You know what I mean? He got tempted. You know what I mean? He at one point he was offered the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? Who wouldn't have taken that deal? A weak man would have.
Right.
A man that is not perfect would have taken that deal.
Right.
But go ahead.
This is the book of Job, chapter 1, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
There was a man in the land of Uz
All right.
whose name was Job.
His name was Job. If you're not familiar with Job, I recommend you read this story. If you ever feel like you're going through something, if you ever feel down, if you ever feel, like life, the burden of life, if you ever, like, well, you shouldn't feel like this if you're in the truth because you got your brothers and sisters. But if you ever feel like that, I recommend you read this book. Because I personally like reading this book because it shows me of how little my affliction is. The affliction that I go through and that a lot of us go through is minute to what this man went through. This man went through a whole lot of, he went through a lot that most of us, I guarantee, would have, without Brotherhood, we would have folded. But everything too wild up.
Yeah, I'm just keeping Shamar. Watching people.
All right, I'll keep talking there. But yeah, so this brother Job, if you're not familiar with the story, the angels, the Most High, so we'll call it like a conference, right? They had a conference meeting at work in heaven. You know what I mean? And then Satan went there himself because the Satan is he's a employee, for the lack of a better word. He's an employee of the Most High. That's why I don't know where we get this silly idea that there is a chance that evil and wickedness can prevail over the Most High. He can wipe him out just like that. You know what I'm saying? Like fear him that can kill it, the spirit, right?
Right.
So they had this meeting, right? And Satan was like, you got your hand over Job, you protected him, but if you remove your shamar, if you remove your security from him, I bet you I can get him to denounce you. I mean, I can get him to go against you. And I know it sounds messed up how I'm about to say it, but the Most High was like, bet. He was like, bet, let's do this. And showing up, man, Satan put that brother through hell. Yeah, I recommend y'all read this story if y'all ever feel like y'all going through something. This story is very heavy. But so anyway, go ahead, start it again. Job 1:1.
This is the book of Job, chapter 1, verse 1. And there was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job.
Right.
and that man was perfect.
Perfect. Again. So that's two. So no, that's three. Christ, Noah, Job. Go ahead.
And upright,
And upright.
and one that feared God.
One that fear God. Y'all know. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what the fear of God is.
Come on, come on. So like,
What? You participate too, sis. It's in Psalms, right? Or the book of Psalms. I forget, but go ahead.
So
What
like
is
yes,
fear? What is the fear of the Most High?
so like yes, sir.
Mhm.
It's just keeping the commandments, following his orders.
All right, you getting there? Yeah, that's correct. I'll say that's not correct. What you got, bro? That's what you was gonna say. All right,
Salakia, the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom.
that's get that, brother. Yeah, that's exactly that. But you were right too, sis. Like, and that is fear, following the law, statutes, and commandments. But it's also the beginning of wisdom. Because once you fear that, go ahead, what?
Salakia, like you be wise to listen to and observe the laws.
Right.
Because if you didn't, you
Mhm.
know what I mean, fear the one who can destroy the soul.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it'll be wise for you as a child not to touch that stove after your mama turned it off. You know what I mean? That'll be wise. It'll be wise for you to read the label on an alcohol bottle that says this kid like do not operate heavy machinery.
Right.
I mean, it'll be wise to read that carton of cigarettes that tells you this will give you cancer. I mean, that'll be wise. So that fear, which all those three things that I just said are examples of sin.
Right.
So the fear of God is following the law, statutes, and commandments, like the sister said. And like you said, it's the beginning of wisdom.
Right.
That's where wisdom begins. You can be smart. You can be a smart fella. You can be a smart lady. But without wisdom, what is that knowledge good for?
Right.
You know what I mean? Was there more on that? Oh, go ahead. What you got?
Come on, Con. I was just saying, like, you can be smart. I mean, there's plenty of smart people without common sense.
Yeah.
Common sense is not common. If
Right.
it was, everybody would have it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Something, and let me say this real quick. Just sidebar, right? I like astrology, right? I like the cosmos. I'm fascinated with those things. I like aircraft and so-called UFOs and other planets, things like that, right? Anyways, some of the sharpest minds on the planet, right? Some of those people that can decipher all that data that is out there, and they know all these things about the universe, right? Because the universe is so vast, right? They all have one thing in common. All of them, from the beginning, from Isaac Newton to Copernicus to Neil deGrasse Tyson. Y'all know what that is? They have all this knowledge, right? They have all this knowledge about all things that are life, even here on Earth, because they have to know that, right? The one thing they have in common, all of them, is that they don't believe in a God. And every time they've been asked that, they say because there is no evidence. That's exactly what I did. The evidence is in the book. You know what I'm saying? There's no evidence out there that I'm getting sidetracked a little bit, but there's no evidence out there that black holes exist. You can't see one.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they found some way, somehow, they're like, well, because this moves in this manner, blah, 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 and all their data, right? So it must be real. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's silly to have all that knowledge and not believe in God. So where did it come from?
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to create it somehow. What's up, man? What's up, little bro?
If and they do not know that God is real, then He is really real because He's inside of you.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
That's why you have eyes, nose, mouth, and ears.
Yeah, that's He created that. That didn't spark out of. So according to them, there was a little speck floating around nowhere, One day, just pop and boom, and there we are. There goes the lands, the oceans, the gases, the dinosaurs, humans, apes, primates, all that. Right? There had to be somebody, or yeah, it was somebody. There was someone behind it. You know what I mean? That just doesn't just pop out of nowhere. Nothing pops out of nowhere. You know?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. God is in us. You know, especially us Hispanics, Blacks, and Native Americans. We get that. That is written in our hearts and in our minds. And I point at our hearts, right? Because that's your thinking. When you read the scriptures and you see heart, that's your thoughts. So eventually they become your actions. You know what I'm saying? So your heart and your mind, your soul, you know what I mean? Like what is about you. The Most High gave us that. You know what I'm saying? That when we were born, he put that in us. Go ahead, you call.
And that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and eschewed evil.
He stayed away from evil. So he was perfect. Was that strike 3 or 2? That's 3. One more real quick, because if give me Genesis 17:1. So it is possible to be perfect. It is possible. It takes discipline, but most importantly, it takes brotherhood. Because being perfect on your own, it's possible, but why would you put yourself through it when you can have your brother, you know what I mean, when you can listen to your brother tell you, hey, fall back, don't do that. You know what I mean? Like it's easier to walk together like we just read, you know what I'm saying, one accord. That's much easier. That's a better living. We have that in our culture, in our Israel and Hispanic based Native Americans, especially men, we have that mentality that we're supposed to go through it on our own. You know what I'm saying? We're like if asking for help is weakness. You know what I'm saying? Shedding a tear is a sign of weakness. You know what I mean? Like we have that because of like Cav said, like it's a generational thing. Like everything you carry about you is in your DNA. All that oppression that the Spaniards and the English caused to our fathers and mothers, you carry that with you. Saying like we're born with that depression, we're born with that stress, that anxiety. Like we have it in us. But here you can, you can't get rid of that on your own. You know what I'm saying? There's no doctor that can help you get rid of that. They can give you medicine just to dose you off, you know what I mean? Get you a little buzz or get you enough dosage for you to fall asleep and then you don't even think about it. But once that medication wears off, you're back to square one. But in brotherhood, hey, you see it when it starts to happen. You see that start to shave off you. All those things start to come off. Because now it's not you doing it on your own. You know what I mean? What else? Genesis 17:1, right?
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And when and when Abram was 90 years old, and when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me and be thou perfect.
Abram, this was before he got his Hebrew name. Abram was a man in the world. So he must have been, or I don't know, if the Lord favored him, then he was doing something right. You know? Then the Lord told him, like, walk, what did he say? Walk
before me.
Right, walk before me. Like walk in my steps. Follow me. Right? I'm gonna lead the way, you follow it, because God is perfect, right? I've never seen anywhere in the scriptures where God wasn't what he was about, what he was 100%. You know what I mean? Even in confusion, he tells you that's not my thing. He ain't the author of confusion. You know what I mean? Like he keeps it real 100% of the time. So he's telling Abraham, like, walk before me. I mean, right behind me. Walk behind me in my steps. Go ahead.
And be thou perfect.
And be thou perfect. And him doing that is what led it to the covenant, right? Which is verse 2, right? Well, that's a different class. We'll go into that. But there's another one. So you can be perfect.
Right.
It's possible. And part of perfection, you know what I'm saying, is that brotherhood and that accountability so that we don't sin. That's the most important thing about brotherhood. It's not letting your brother to suffer sin, you know, to suffer the consequences of it. Um, I mean, Proverbs 24 and 16. Let me get that with you too. Proverbs 24 and what did I say? 16.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse
Mhm.
16. For a just man falleth 7 times,
One time,
7 times,
3 times,
7 times,
a few times,
7 times.
7 times. You're going to fall a lot in life.
Right.
That's a fact. I mean, that's a fact. You're going to fall. You're going to, you know what I mean? I forgot the scripture, but the brother that said, I die every day. Damn, Slack, I should have wrote that down.
Let me find that real quick.
Yeah, would you? So you fall, right? 16 for a just man falleth 7 times. You can be just. You can be doing what is expected of you from the Most High. But there are times that we fall. But don't let this scripture be the reason that you fall. You know what I mean? Let it be the reason that you get up and not fall again. You know what I mean? But it's just telling us that, you know, we do have errors. But we can avoid that with brotherhood. You can avoid that with showing love to each other. Do you get that?
Come on.
Go
This is
ahead.
the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 31.
Mhm.
I protest by your rejoicing, which I have in Yahweh Mashiach, our Lord, I die daily.
Hold on. 1 Corinthians what?
15:31.
So I read that again. I had to put it on my notes. So I can go ahead, read that again.
Okay. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 31. I protest by your rejoicing, which I have in Yahweh Mashiach,
Mhm.
our Lord.
Mhm.
I die daily.
I die daily. Yeah. Don't let that also, don't use that as a pretense to say, well, see, you can't be perfect. You're saying that he makes mistakes. He ain't talking about sinning. He made mistakes. Sometimes you fall. Sometimes even like giving into giving into some like a depression, right? Like that could be a fall. You know what I mean? You get fired one of these days, and and you feel like it happens. You fall, but you get up, right? You fall 7 times, you get up 8 times. So the point is to be resilient. You know what I'm saying? To persevere. Like don't let life beat you. You know what I'm saying? Because we are promised eternal life, right? So we get to do it over again and again and again and again.
Right. It's like it was just like the scriptures that say, he that endureth
Hmm.
to the end shall be saved.
Right. Yeah, you got to endure all those falls.
Right.
You got to endure all those tribulations. Go through it. Because let's look at the greatest example. Christ endured a lot before he died. Too much. Nobody has ever died like in that manner. Ever. No one ever will. You can't match that. I mean, so he endured a lot. And now he's king. He's the king of heaven on earth. You know what I mean? So endure. You get your crown too. You know what I mean? That's something I look forward to. Even though it looks gloomy and sad, you what I'm saying? Eventually the rain clears up. Right. That was Matthew 5:48, right? No, it's a lot again.
Proverbs 24, verse 16. For a
Alright.
just man falleth 7 times
Mhm.
and rises up again,
Mhm.
but the wicked shall fall unto mischief.
The wicked shall fall into mischief. So you fall, you know what I mean, and you continue perpetrating that wickedness that caused you to fall, you're gonna fall into mischief. Mischief is basically it means the lack of achievement. So you want to achieve anything good, you lack achieving something greater. You're gonna fall into that. You're gonna fall into hell. You know what I'm saying? Them demons, they're gonna find that host because the Lord is no longer with you. So now they have a home. You know what I mean? If you perpetuate means to continually do something over and over again that you shouldn't be doing. If you keep doing it, that that mischief, that lack of achievement, that's that's gonna be the cost of your demise. You know what I mean? Uh, in Matthew 10:22.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 22. And ye shall be hated,
Loved,
hated,
liked.
hated
Go ahead.
of all men for my name's sake.
For my name's sake. For what Christ, these words are written in what?
They're written in red.
In red. Christ talking again. You can't rebuke, you can't rebuttal anything Christ says. You know, he is infamous for cutting people throughout the scriptures. You know, so he's saying, and he shall be hated of all men, everybody, including your own people, because we did the same thing to him. We was the reason we gave the Romans the vote to crucify him. You're gonna be hated of all men for my name's sake. So for everything he stood for that brotherhood, it will be hated. You know what I mean? People will come at you, right? Like they do at camp, right? We out there telling people how to get right. We out there telling our brothers and sisters to stop doing what they're doing, to get right with the Lord, to follow God's statutes and commandments, to get off this, to get off that. We're giving them help on how to fix their relationships. We're giving the scriptures, and we say this is for you, brother and sister. And then the other man comes in. What they do, you call?
It's like it's for me.
Go ahead.
They point at us and say, you are a shame on your race.
Right. They hate us for
They
that.
hate us.
Like, whoa. Like I'm not teaching hate. Nobody is telling you to pick up a rock and hit a red man in the head. You know, we're not telling you that. We're just telling our people because we love them so much. We're trying to give them some guidance. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to give them some support. We're trying to show that brotherly love. But to them, because we're not addressing them, you know what I mean? We're not addressing them is hate. But they do it a lot. The other day, yesterday, right? When we started class, I was telling you about how Trump loves his people so much. Nobody is talking about the hate that he's portraying to our people. You know what I'm saying? They're congratulating him for helping those white South Africans. But I don't see, and I do watch the news because I've been kind of ordered to do so. Because I like watching a lot of comedy, but I've been ordered to watch the news. So, but I don't see nobody on CNN and Fox talking about, well, Trump is wrong or Trump is hateful for his new immigration policies. You know what I mean? In fact, they're congratulating him for what he's doing. Apparently he's saving them from genocide. That's their new narrative, I know. he said it out his mouth. Nobody in the UN, nobody in America, nobody is saying that they are going through a mass genocide over in South Africa. As far as I'm concerned, none of them have been assassinated. He's just doing that to, build his agenda or whatever. But man, Trump is insane, bro. Like, there's something wrong with his head. I'm starting to see that now. But so you be hated for and ye shall be hated of all men, for my name's sake, for what he stood for. And like I said at the beginning of class, he was all about brotherhood. That was his ultimate mission. It was to bring us back together. Because we were at the time that he came, that's when like we were lost. We were definitely lost then. Go ahead.
Salakia, and I've experienced this already amongst I have family here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she says, "Well, what kind of people you hanging around with? What y'all are all broke? You know what I mean?" She's like, "You got to watch the people you with." That's what. I'm gonna leave her name out of it.
Right.
But she's like, "You got to watch the people you with. You got to, I forgot what the saying. She said some type of wise saying, right? In other words, she's saying like if you hang out with broke niggas, you're gonna be a broke nigga. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I told her, no, it's not like that. She's like, I told her, she's like, well, what it is? It's like we're building a school right now, and we all got to sacrifice certain things. And she's like, I don't understand that.
Right.
She's like, y'all are just crazy. You know what I mean?
Right. It's
so
heavy.
Like, I'm being hated. You know what I mean?
For
by
what?
my own people.
For what?
For brotherhood.
For brotherhood. For his name's sake.
Right.
You damn right, because damn, I know he's gonna bring that up because there's a scripture about that too, about the material things. We just went over this, but if we so broke, like we still eat. You know what I mean? We still have the necessities that we need, and like you said, we are building a school, and those sacrifices are rich in itself. I mean, eventually it's gonna pay. It's gonna pay off. You know what I mean? But being broke, that's crazy, bro. Because I don't feel broke. I don't. I know you don't either. You know what I mean? When we go out and I don't know what she's talking about, bro. But that is definitely hate. That is hate 101. Just because you don't see fancy cars, is that what they're looking for? Like mansions? I don't understand. Oh, we good. We're good with what we got. We can't ask for more.
Look, we got a brand new school.
Right. We got
brand new school. Look. Yeah. And man, we're about to start working on it again tonight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got a brand new school.
Yeah, bro.
I don't know what they talk about. You know what I mean?
Either.
They say that we're ashamed to our people, right? That's what they told us in the street.
Right.
We got a beacon for our people right here.
Yeah.
I don't see what they're talking about.
I don't either. I think it's because, like I said, Christ said it best. I mean, you will be hated for doing what he does. Right. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong about brotherhood. But even then, while he was showing it at one point, he had thousands of followers. And even then, he was wrong, according to the oppressor. It's the oppressor that builds these kind of narratives, that builds these things. Because I know one thing they hate, bro, is to see us unite. I know that for a fact. That's why they crumble anytime any of our leaders try to bring us together. They're there. They're in the midst. You know what I mean? The devil's in the detail. They're right there. You know what I'm saying? Waiting for that. When they spot that weakness, they attack it and they disassemble everything. They did it to the Black Panthers. They did it to the Young Lords, I think it was called.
Right.
You know what I mean? They did it. They do it. That's what they do. They dismantle our unity. You know, because we're too strong together. That's just a fact. That's just a fact, bro.
Right.
This morning, right?
It's like
Yeah,
what verse was that again?
24. I mean, it's like at 22.
This is
Yeah.
the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 22. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved.
Right. You just brought that up. Endures to the end. Like it's just it's something that must be, something
Right.
that we have to do. And the result will be getting saved. Like there's no better reward.
Right.
You know, not everybody's gonna get saved. I mean, not everyone is gonna inherit the kingdom of heaven. You know what I mean? There's an exact number actually of those. You know, those 144,000 and the one. Go ahead.
Right. But Salakia, the exact number is for the ruling class of
Right.
Israel.
Yeah. So those the ruling class. I mean the judges, the I don't even want the judges. I was gonna say presidents. That's crazy. So yeah, the ruling class, right? So not everybody's gonna get it. You know what I mean? But even the ones that don't, they're still gonna be partaking of it. You know what I'm saying? Like the children of our oppressors, the children of oppressors, they're gonna get it cut too. We ain't gonna treat them like they treat us. They'll be all right unless they step out of line. You know what I mean? Go ahead, sis.
Slovakia, sir. But the ruling class, that's all men though, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. 144,000 judges, ruling class. Yeah. That don't mean the sisters won't be in heaven though. I mean, like there's gonna be a point where you won't be able to step on the ground. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to float from destination to destination. That's to not get your toes, your stilettos dirty. You know what I mean? That's what it's gonna be. You're gonna be treated with the utmost respect. You're gonna, I mean, like you're yeah, exactly. Like a rose, like a flower. Was that it on that?
Con.
All right, let's drop down. All right, let's get to the meat of it. Give me 1 Peter 5 and 8.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 5, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
Be sober.
Be drunk.
Be sober.
Be high.
Be sober.
Be angry.
Be sober.
Be what?
Be sober.
Uh-huh.
Be vigilant.
Uh-huh.
Because your adversary, the devil.
Who?
Your adversary, the devil.
Your brother.
Your adversary, the devil.
Your Commanding General Johanna.
Your adversary, the devil.
The sisters in the school.
Your adversary, the devil.
Who is the devil?
The white man.
Right. Yeah, we got to sugarcoat. I mean, the oppressor.
Right.
You're gonna get the truth is the truth, and the truth is supposed to hurt.
Right.
You know what I mean? If it corresponds, if the truth corresponds, if somebody's telling you the truth, if somebody's telling you about yourself and what you're doing wrong, it's supposed to hurt.
Right.
That'll make you get right. You know, in this case, that'll make you lick up the dust off the feet.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, the who?
Because your adversary, the devil.
Your adversary, bro. Like your adversary. There are people here right next to us that are meant to be here for that sole purpose, for that reason, to be your adversary, to be your enemy. They're the ones that are going to put you through the test. Right. I mean, you know, in war, you either you can fight back, and if you're too weak, you join them, right? But not here in the UPK. We don't join our adversaries.
No cowards, sir.
That's right. No cowards, no what?
No cowards, no excuses.
That's right. Go ahead.
Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion.
As a roaring lion, like that. And metaphorically speaking, the lion is the the king of the earth, not just the jungle. Like he's the most vicious. He's the most um, aggressive. Like he's the king. You know what I mean? He's sharp. He's cunning. Go ahead.
As a roaring lion
Mm-hmm.
walketh about,
Mm-hmm.
seeking whom he may devour.
Whom he may devour. That's the objective of the adversary. That's why it's important to be vigilant. You know what I mean? Always watch your surroundings. Know where you at. Because somewhere, if you're looking at your surroundings and you don't look around that corner, if you don't look down that alley, you're not being vigilant. You know what I mean? And that's where that lion is lurking. That lion is going to pop up in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Lions are very strategic in their hunting. You know what I'm saying? Like they retract their claws as to not make noise. You know what I'm saying? That's why they grow that mane so they can hide in the high grass. You won't even see them coming. That's why we gotta remain vigilant. And part of being vigilant is being sober. And that doesn't just mean sober as far as like not doing drugs or alcohol or being a drunk or things of that nature. But being sober, like having a clear mind, like no distractions. You know what I mean? Something's happening about your life. Like don't take that to the battlefield. You know what I'm saying? Deal with it. That's why you got brotherhood to deal with that so it doesn't weigh on your mind. It doesn't distract you from the objective. All right. Go ahead, keep going.
It's like, what verse was that?
That was 8. Go ahead to 9.
Verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Whom resist the steadfast in the faith,
Whom resist steadfast, who continually who stands on resisting these law, statutes, and commandments. That's what this is saying. Whom resist steadfast. Like you stand on resisting in the faith, in the law, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead.
knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world.
Right. This is going to come into the school in the next verse. But the same afflictions that people in the world are going through, right? And us being in the truth. But if you resist that, if you resist any law, statute, and commandment, any one of them, it could just be one. The same affliction that our brothers and sisters are going through in the world, it'll be accomplished. You're gonna go through the same stuff that they are going through, even though you're in the school, because you're resisting, you're steadfast. You know what I mean? And it shows. Like it's hard to hide it. Trust me, I tried. When I resist, I tried it. It shows. So I started again.
Verse 9. Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world.
Right. Go ahead.
Verse 10. But the God of all grace,
Mm-hmm.
whom hath called us unto his eternal glory by Christ
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, after that ye have suffered a while,
After you have suffered a little bit,
after that you have suffered a while,
a day, one bad mishap,
a while,
a while. A while has no beginning or end. It's a while. You know what I mean? It's like a New York minute. You don't know if it's gonna be quick or if it could be tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It's like a minute. It's been a minute since I last saw you. We don't know. It's been a while, right? So you have to go through what for a while?
After that ye have suffered a while.
Yeah, suffer a little bit. Why you think you have to suffer a while to get into this kingdom?
Select it, sir.
Mhm.
To kill off that old man.
That's correct. All right. Anything else? You think you gotta suffer a while?
To be refined into pure gold.
All right, yeah. That's go ahead, sis.
So, like, yes, sir. I was just gonna say because Christ suffered. So,
Yeah, yeah. That's exactly right. Good job. You know what I mean? Like if Christ, the Most High in Christ, they don't want nobody in the kingdom that has not suffered. You know what I mean? It's like our priest. It's like what's that dude? The one that be swallowing mics. Um,
Say that again.
the one that be swallowing mics. The one that the Judite, the P Diddy party.
Salakia,
Yeah,
TDJ.
TDJs, right? It's like TDJs telling you to not be a sexual deviant, to not be yeah, God knows what he was doing in parties.
Not to get swallowed up.
Right. That crap, yeah. You know what I mean? That's like him telling you, you know what I mean, like to do that. Like how you gonna tell me not to do that when you doing it? You know what I mean? So he gets no seat in the kingdom of heaven. You know what I mean? But so like that's so with Christ and the Most High, it's only right that you suffer through something. You know what I'm saying? Because that way you can help. Like now that you've been through it, you know, one of my favorite rappers, JC, said it. He said, you know, Hope did that so you wouldn't have to go through that. You know what I mean? It's like you went through it, and now we can tell our children, our youngsters, or even our elders that might not know better. You know what I mean? We can help them because we know it, and now we're gonna help you avoid that. You know what I mean? Right. Of course, they have to humble themselves, and you gotta be in the right mind and in the right space to do that. You know what I mean? Start it again.
Verse
10.
Salakia, verse 10. But the God of all grace,
Mm-hmm.
who hath called us unto his eternal glory by Christ Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
after that ye have suffered a while.
Like, wow. And wow, that's crazy, man. So wow, it could be some of us suffer a whole lifetime,
Right.
which is unfortunate. But with brotherhood, with sisterhood, in this school, in the Command General, that while is a short time.
Right.
I mean, it's possible. Go ahead.
Make you perfect.
Make you what?
Make you perfect.
Right. Make you perfect. Go ahead.
Salakia. Make you perfect. Establish.
Uh-huh.
Strengthen.
Uh-huh.
Settle you.
Yeah. That suffering, that's what's gonna establish you. That's what's gonna make you solid. Right? That's what's gonna give you that strength. You know what I mean? That's what's gonna the next time that suffering comes around again, it's a light work.
Right.
I mean, it's like, man, get out of here. Go go somewhere else with that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like leave that shit at the door. So I get. Go ahead, go to 12.
Verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
By Silvanus, a faithful brother unto
Oh,
you.
so like no, we skipped one. 11. So like.
Verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen.
Yeah. After that strength settles you, you got dominion. You know what I mean? But it's not just you though. Like this is what I want y'all to understand from this. It can't be just you.
Right.
You know what I mean? It has to be through brotherhood.
Right.
See, like what we say, brotherhood is a weapon, right?
That's right.
Like that's the greatest weapon. That's more than a nuclear bomb, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that is more powerful than that. Go ahead.
Verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
By Silvanus,
Mm-hmm.
a faithful brother unto you,
Mm-hmm.
as I suppose I
Mhm.
have written briefly,
Right.
exhorting and testifying that this is the true grace of God wherein ye stand.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 13. The church that is at Babylon, elected together with you, saluteth you, and so doth Marcus, my son. Greet ye one another with a kiss of charity.
With a salute. Let's not get it twisted.
Right.
You know, 'cause that's linguistics, right? Where the one old man kissing the other man in the cheek, and like Romans, you know, in the movies where the Italians and the Romans, they like when they greet each other, they keep the one cheek and the other cheek. No, men of Israel, we were not doing that. A kiss just means a greeting. We have to get Ayala one to explain the Hebrew word for kiss because it's the class.
We dap each other up.
Right.
Our fist kiss.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's in the scriptures too, the clashing of plates too.
Right.
The clashing of breastplates. That, you know what I mean? That's so. Anybody listening, don't get it twisted. This is not what you think it is. You gotta do more studying. Let's be 8, 10, 11. So the log, I meant to go to Lamentations 4 and 17. This is you can use this as a pretext to this scripture too. Lamentations 4 and 17. Hold on, let me catch up to you. Hold on. I forgot about that one. Because that goes hand in hand with what we just read in 1 Peter 5, 8 through 10 and 11. Go ahead.
This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help.
Right.
In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
We're watching for a nation that cannot save us. We're not watching for our own nation. We're watching for another nation to save us. Tell me that we don't rely on the oppressor to be our salvation. In Honduras, in our Latin American countries, and even here in American cities, where there's poverty, where there's crime, we rely on the oppressor to step in because they have all the resources. Oh, that's blue.
Oh,
yeah, that's blue. We rely on the oppressor to step through, to come through, right? Because they paint themselves as such, right? Like when they go and invade, what it's like, let me take that back. When they go to other countries, it's for the purpose of liberating certain people from a certain regime, right? They're doing good. When they go to Africa and their commercials and give these kids rice and water, it's for that reason, right? You know what I'm saying? When they do those things, we see it and we're like, that's the man right there. That's that nation that can help us get out of poverty. That's that nation that can help us. We rely on them. But we don't, like I said, the devil's in the detail. We don't know that the whole time they're showing them commercials with them African kids eating rice and drinking water, they're there for the gold and silver. Right. You know what I'm saying? The whole time they're talking about Saddam Hussein and Bin Laden and whatever, Abdul and Muhammad and all them, like they're not there to liberate the people from an oppression of their so-called dictators. You know what I'm saying? They're there for their own agenda. Right. So read that scripture again.
As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help.
Right.
In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
All right. They're not that nation that's going to save us. See? We can only save ourselves. You know, them doing that, saying that they're over there with those intentions to do good and whatnot, that's them saving their nation. Right. See? That's them monetizing. That's them imperializing. I mean, that's them making them great on this, making them the greatest empire on this planet up to current date. It's soon to fall. So the nation that we need to rely on is right here at home. It's right here in the UPK. That's the nation. We need to rely on each other. Because if we don't got us, then who else got us? You know what I mean? I don't know. Chinese people ain't going to help us. You know what I mean? They're just going to keep feeding us the delicious orange chicken or cat or rat, whatever, duck, whatever it is. Right? You know what I mean? The arrows. You know what I mean? They're just going to keep selling us backwoods and cigars and cigarettes. You know what I mean? Indians, they're going to keep selling us horsehair, you know? Things of that nature. Like the Asians are going to keep giving us nails. You know what I mean? Like, we cannot rely on these other nations to save us. We got to rely on ourselves. And it starts with brotherhood. It starts right here with brotherhood. We have to have each other's back. You know what I'm saying? To not do so is failing what is an insult to our King Christ. You know what I mean? Because he didn't die in vain. But if we're not going to practice what he left for us, then he might as well have. But that's not the case. We want to keep it alive here in the UPK. What was that, 17? Go to 18?
Verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
They hunt our steps.
They hunt our steps. You want to give that a shot as to what is that saying?
Salakia.
Mm-hmm. They hunt.
Okay.
Our steps.
If I may.
Go ahead.
Okay. See, a lot of our people right now, and I'm speaking about the so-called Latino tribes, right? We trust in this wicked nation so much is that we go to the borders, right? And we beg them to let us in. We're begging them to let us in. But the same people that we're begging to let us in, they're hunting our steps in the street and separating our families.
How so?
Well, with immigration, sir, the ICE agents and the Border Patrol, they're hunting our steps. They're literally going into schools and taking our children from us.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And hunting is also because the oppressor, he's a cunning hunter. You know what I mean? The reason that they know where to strike, like you just brought that example about immigration, you beat me to the point. The reason they know where to strike, because they're not striking the schools in, like in North Central. They ain't striking them schools. That's a lot of white kids in, you know what I mean? Like, they're striking schools on the west side, Southwest. They're striking those places. They're not striking the. I don't know. They're not striking like Cracker Barrel.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're striking hotels, right? Because the maids are Hispanics. You know what I mean? The kitchen staff are it's like Israelites, Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. I mean, they know where to strike because they're hunting. And if you know anything about hunting requires a lot of patience and a lot of reconnaissance. Saying you gotta camouflage. You know what I mean? You gotta stay in the cut. You gotta wait for that prey, follow that prey. It's gonna lead you to their herd. You know what I mean? That's what they do. That's why they're being so successful. They're catching hundreds and hundreds a day. I'm saying that takes like a lot of preparation, a lot of tax money. You know what I mean? Now, low key, we're helping them. Or, well, they take them from us so they can afford to do these things. So they hunt our steps. I'm saying we ain't safe out here. Like, it's not, I mean, there's only one place that, in this sanctuary, you'll be safe. I mean, this sanctuary, man, we mess around and we all get deported. And started school over there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We started school in the detention camp. We started school in Guantanamo Bay, nigga. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets.
in our streets, man. And that's not just here in the US. You know what I'm saying? That's even at home. You know what I mean? Like Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador, you know, he just because he's the president of El Salvador doesn't make him a national. He's a Palestinian. You know, he's good friends, great friends with Trump. He has a different agenda too. See? He hunts our people in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Just because you have it, you know, my dad told me this was years ago. I asked my father, he's still back home. I asked him if I can like when would be a great time to go visit him. And he said, you cannot come down here. And I said, how come? And he told me because you have tattoos. I said, that don't mean nothing. He was like, shit, that don't mean nothing up here. But down there, they see you with a tattoo. You going to jail. Right. Like it's because they have the well, you shouldn't get tattoos anyways. But they affiliate that with a delinquent. You know what I mean? And they have people for like they have forces that arrest you for that just for having a tattoo. I mean, that's how they hunt our steps. You
It's
know what I
like
mean?
they have tattoo hunting squads.
Yeah, it's called la sombra negra, the black shadow.
Yo,
They the black shadow. They operate outside of. They're in the government, but they're elite. Like you know, like y'all familiar with like black books and
black ops.
yeah, black book like things that you cannot talk about and you know what I'm saying. The government gives you a certain I think it's called a voucher, certain amount of money to fund your whatever equipment you need and whatnot. Yeah, it's called a sombra negra, the black shadow. They're elite in Honduras, and that's what they do. They look for people that look suspicious. Uh, Bald heads, you know, that's like a thing for with MS, right? Like skin bald heads, tatted up. They look for that. You know what I mean? They look for things like that, and yeah, you end up in a prison just because of that. My dad warned me about that. And he was absolutely right. If I go down there, I will get locked up. No questions asked. Mm. And prisons over there are not like here, bro. Prisons here are like motels. Over there, just you'd be lucky if you get beans and rice. Anyway, so yeah, they hunt our steps. They cannot go in our streets. Go ahead.
It's like
13.
what was it? What verse was it?
Limitations 4 and 18.
Lamentations 4 and 18. They hunt our steps that we cannot go on our street.
Mm-hmm.
Our end is near.
Mm-hmm.
Our days are numbered, are fulfilled. So like our days are fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
For our end is come.
All right. Go ahead to 19.
Verse 19. Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven.
No, that's how quick they are. You know, we was talking about the lion earlier, right? How he's the king on the earth, on land. Or the eagle, that's the king of the skies. If you ever seen an eagle in real life, they're actually really scary. They're huge. They're huge, but like their wingspan is taller than Yao Ming. I mean, they're terrifying creatures. They're claw. You know what I mean? They're the kings of the skies, bro. Like they're birds that hunt other birds. You know, I think the only one that tops them is falcon. I like stuff like that too, like the Animal Channel and all that. It's pretty cool. But anyways, so they're the king of the skies. You know what I mean? They move swiftly. They're very intelligent. You know what I'm saying? And they hunt. They hunt cattle. You know what I mean? Like sheep, goat. And they take them, they hunt them, they grasp them with their claws, take them up to high altitudes and drop them. You know, once they drop, they go in and feast. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, get the mic.
Sir,
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say, like, they can pick up children as well.
Yeah, yeah, they confuse them for food as well. Because imagine, like, if you're that high up, a baby will look like a rodent. I mean, they do. I seen those videos. They do scoop up children. They're like that, man. And they come with. They do what?
They pursue us upon the mountains.
Upon the mountains, wherever we at, wherever plain, mountain, uh, cliffs, whatever, wherever we at, the oppressor will pursue you. You know what I mean? He will find you because it's in his. Just like we have that DNA, those generational curses, they have DNA too, and their DNA is built in them to hate us. Like they have it. You don't even have to ask. Y'all familiar with that experiment with the Barbies? With you are like you not? I think you are. The experiment was they had a white child and a Judite child, children, Salaga, and they were showing Barbies to each child, right? A white Barbie and a black Barbie, and both of the children, white and black, they both liked the white Barbie over the black one. You know what I'm talking about? So the black one was dirty, was bad, was you know what I mean? Anything that was bad went to the dark to the black Barbie, and anything that was good and pure went to the white one. You know what I mean? So they have that in them. Like they don't have to be taught that. Like it's in them. I had to learn that. I've learned I didn't have that in me because you know our people come in all different colors. But when I came to the states, I was like, well, why you know what I mean? Like why they don't like us? I mean, like I didn't know that existed. That was new to me. I was a child, you know what I mean? So, anyways, that was it on 19, right?
They laid wait for us in the wilderness.
They wait. They just wait. They wait. They wait for the time to pounce. And that is the unfortunate circumstance in our condition that we have to go through this. It's only I like saying that there's always a solution to a problem, and the solution is following these laws, statutes, and commandments. I mean, that's it. Like, and it doesn't sound difficult because it's not. I'm saying, like, it's not grievous, right? Like, once you get in the rhythm of anything, once you start doing something consecutively, it becomes a habit. You know what I mean? And when you stop doing that, you kind of start missing it, right? It's like getting that, like when you work out, right? And you feel sore for several days and you stop working out and that soreness goes away, it don't feel right. You mean like you miss it? I'm like, damn, I miss that soreness. It's the same thing. Like you consecutive follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Like it's gonna be second nature. I mean, but it just takes practice. It takes time. It takes brotherhood, accountability, and which I'm glad that I have y'all. You know what I mean to keep me alive. We'll talk. You know what I mean. I really appreciate that. We got time. All right, we might. Fuck it. I'm gonna get Romans 12:9. Hey, where's so wild here, man? I'm thirsty. Can you get him? Romans 12, chapter 12, verse 9.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 9.
Go ahead.
Let love be without dissimulation.
Dissimulation, right? Y'all know what dissimulation is? It's like pretend. You know, it's like fake. It's like don't act like it. Don't let your love be like an act. You know what I mean? Don't let it be just like for say, you know what I mean? Like for yeah, for like just for show, without dissimulation. Don't let that love be in vain. Don't let that be, you know what I mean? Go ahead.
Abhor that which is evil.
Right? That's self-explanatory. Hate those things. Saying you wouldn't do something that you hate, right? So like, I mean, like I know when I was guilty of this, I was guilty of a lot of pleasures in the world. But once I learned that they're not for me, the water. Once I learned that they're not for me, and I realized it, and I, it's kind of like you have to convince yourself like to hate those things, right? Like I'll give you an example, right? Just because I had a guilty pleasure of eating pork rinds. Like to me, they were delicious. Once I found out how disgusting that pig was, and of course it's a sin. I started hating it. I mean, then I was like it's so like I abhorred anything that's evil. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, like I used to smoke, and like I can't stand the smell of cigarettes. It gives me nausea for some reason. You know what I mean? So like abhor that which is evil. Right? Go ahead.
Cleave to that which is good.
Cleave. That's not just the word, bro. Cleave. Like hold that. Like embrace it. You know, grip it. You know what I mean? Like grip it. Grip that which is good, the law, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead.
Verse 10.
Mhm.
Be kindly affectioned one to another with brotherly love.
Affection. Affection is devotion. Like, be about it. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna do it, go all out. Go 100. Go be 100% about that affection. Be 100% about that sentiment, about how you feel. Don't half-ass it. You know what I mean? Like 75% out of 100, it's not 100. Be 100 about it. That's that affection, that devotion to another, one to another, with brotherly love. Right? Go ahead.
In honor, preferring one another.
In honor, man. In all decadence. You know what I mean? And all that is good and great and mighty. Like be like prefer one another. Prefer your brother, prefer your sister over anyone else. Of course, if that anyone else happens to be somebody outside your nation, that don't mean you dismiss them. You still look out, but prefer one another. You know what I mean? We come first.
That's right.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 11. Not slothful in business.
Yeah, don't be slow about what you're doing. Don't be lazy with it. You know what I mean? Like love, like they say that like love is unconditional. Hell no, there's conditions to love. There's a lot of conditions to love, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you let me go out here and sin, that's not love. You know what I mean? That would be unconditional love. But anybody in the world would be like, you know, I love him so much, man, I'm gonna let him be free. You know, because I love him. Yeah, it don't make sense, right? So there are conditions to love. So go ahead.
It's like too much brotherhood is Leviticus. That's too much brotherhood.
Too much brotherhood.
Well, actually,
is-
too much brotherhood is no brotherhood.
That's correct.
You know what I mean? That's no brotherhood at all because you're actually letting, because if he's doing something that you do not approve of,
Mhm.
he's actually offending you,
Right.
and you're not saying anything about it. That's cowardly.
Right. You're absolutely right. That's correct. Too much brother is no lovehood. It's no brotherhood. So like that's a loverhood. That's a new one. All right, go ahead.
Fervent in spirit,
Right. Firm in the spirit. Solid in the spirit. Go ahead.
serving the Lord.
Serving the Lord. We know how to serve the Lord. It always goes down to the basics, man. Loving God, which is following the law, statutes, and commandments. Loving your brother, which is following the law, statutes, and commandments.
Loving your brother is always taking him to counsel whenever
Yeah.
he has offended you.
Right. Right. And also holding them accountable. You know, in the world, like, thank God I'm not in the world anymore. But in the world, that's called snitching, right? Here, that's called brotherhood.
Right.
I'd rather y'all do that than let me. You know what I mean? Like we're not in the streets anymore. We're at home now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I ain't worried about somebody holding me accountable or me holding somebody accountable, and I got to worry about getting clapped or what would you say now? Like, well, I don't know. You know what I mean, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm not worried about getting hurt. You know what I mean? And ultimately, we're helping each other.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Verse 12, rejoicing in hope,
Hmm.
patient in tribulation.
That's very important. You need patience while you're going through tribulation.
Right.
Because if you don't practice that, you're going to lose yourself. You're going to lose yourself. You know how to say lost in the sauce?
Right.
Well, you can get lost in tribulation if you're not patient. Patience requires like discipline.
Right.
You mean you gotta stay like keep calm, cool, and collective. So you assess what you're going through, so you can make the right decision. Don't go in there all guns blazing. I mean, be patient. Be patient and rely on this brotherhood. Go ahead.
Continuing,
Mhm.
instant in prayer.
Right. Shit. All you gotta do is face the east.
Right.
Asking you shall receive.
That's right.
Right. So you got the Lord knows what you need way before you ask for it. But ask and you will receive. I mean, go ahead.
Verse 13,
Mm-hmm.
distributing the necessity of saints,
Mm-hmm.
given to hospitality.
Right, brotherhood. Go ahead.
Verse 14, bless them which persecute you.
Mm-hmm.
Bless and curse not.
All right, don't be like them. Don't be like them. They persecute you, don't persecute back. Let the Lord deal with that.
Right.
That's His ordeal. We're not that. You know what I mean? Like that's for Him to do.
Right.
Vengeance is for the Lord, right?
Right.
To persecute them, that's for Him. He's the one that's going to pass the ultimate judgment. You know, so don't be like them.
Right.
Give me we still got time. Give me 2 Timothy 2:11.
This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 11.
Go ahead.
It is a faithful saying,
Mm-hmm.
for if we be dead with him, we shall also live with him.
Right. So if we the same like how Christ died, like we died with him.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're dead with him. We was dead with him on that cross, right? That's that we died, our sins died with him, right? Go ahead. We shall what? What's like? If we be dead with him, go ahead.
We shall live. Well, so like we shall also live with him.
Right. In his resurrection, in our rebirth, after we kill that old man, we are living with him. You know what I mean? We're going through it just like he is. You know, we died with him on the cross and we live with him in life. You know, find the law, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead.
Verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
If we suffer, we shall also reign with him.
Right. That's they go that part again. That's suffering.
Right.
I'm saying you're not gonna rule without suffering.
That's right.
You're not gonna come up without going through these tribulations, through these struggles. Like you can't. You know what I mean? It's like there's this school, there's this academy west of Richmond. It's called West Point. All right, that's where they train all the elites, the military. It's a military school. They train the elites, the officers, their captains, their lieutenants, all that, right? They get trained there, right? But you know who don't get respect? Somebody that has never been in battle. Someone that just gets the free ticket because they know a politician or their sons of politicians, whatnot, and they go straight to the learning part of it. The lower ranking men, they have no respect for those officers because they never been in battle. They never suffered. All they know is what they read in a book. So here is the same thing. It says what?
Verse 12. If we suffer, we shall also reign with him.
Right. Hmm.
If we deny him, he also will deny us.
Yeah. I don't. No one. I don't look. Don't. That would be some crap if Christ was to deny you. I mean, that means you are nothing. Like you might as well be a heathen. You might as well be an oppressor yourself. You might as well be that as a drop of a bucket. Might as well be. Go ahead.
Verse 13.
Hmm.
If we believe not, yet he abideth faithful,
Hmm.
he cannot deny himself.
All right. If we believe not. All right. All right. Give me Ecclesiastes 4 and 9. Damn, I don't think we're gonna get through all of them.
You're about to run out of time, sir.
Yeah. Well, let's do that one.
Ecclesiastes 12. What would you say?
It's like Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9.
Come on, got that. I got it right here.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Two are better than one.
All right. Two are better than one. That's true. There's power in numbers.
Right.
Especially if you walk together, if you agree, you know what I mean? Two is better than one. Go ahead.
Because they have a good reward for their labor.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Our work together makes the work easier, but it also ensures a bigger reward. Because opposed to doing the labor on your own, you might get a reward, but that doubles with more people because it's more the labor. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, go ahead.
Verse 10. For if they fall, the
Right.
one will lift up his fellow.
Right. If you fall into temptation, if you fall into sin, if you fall out of your ways, what happens?
The one will lift up his fellow.
Right. His brother. The one out of two, he's gonna pick you up. He's gonna help you up. Go ahead.
But woe to him that is alone when he falleth.
Destruction to that brother that is alone. If you're alone and you fall, you're gonna hit the bottom of the barrel. You know what I mean? And there are a few that can make it out of it, but it's tough. It's easier when you got another brother or sister beside you. You know, go ahead.
For he hath not another to help him up.
Right. You got no aid. You got no help. You don't have nobody in your corner. You don't have no support. Go ahead.
Verse 11. Again, if two lie together,
Mm-hmm.
then they have heat.
Right.
But how can one be warm alone?
Right. And that's the thing in camping, if you've ever been camping. You know what I'm saying? The closer the proximity you are, the more heat there is in the cold. That's just a simile. Just relating it to that. You know what I mean? You know, you'd rather be in the cold, you'd rather be hot, right? So like proximity, like being next to your brother will keep you warm. Right. That don't mean nothing excited from that. Right. You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted. Go ahead.
Verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
And if one prevail against him,
Mm-hmm.
two shall withstand him.
Two shall what?
Shall withstand him.
Fall back.
Withstand him.
Abandon him.
Withstand him.
Withstand him. It's in the word what that means. Right. Withstand. You're going to stand. You're going to resist with him. Right. Whatever comes your way, and there's your brother beside you, they're going to resist. They're going to stand right there beside you. You know what I mean? Now, I brought this up the other week. If you just happen to be a little weaker, that brother's going to stand in front of you to protect you. Right. You know what I'm saying? If you see that we are proud people. We're about there. We're about fighting. If you see that you got it, I sit back. I stand behind you just in case, but I know you got it. But if anything comes up against us, he will withstand you. He will stand right there with you. Go ahead.
And a threefold cord is not quickly broken.
Right. That's how ropes are made. You know what I'm saying? Two ropes tangled together like a braid. I'll use that. I'll use a braid, right? Like two braids, they come off, like in a week or two, right? You say you start strapping in 3, 4, 5 at a time. You be careful not to let it turn into a lock. You know what I mean? But it's stronger. You know what I mean? It's hard to rip that. You know what I mean? Um, so we got time? You tell me. All right. Well, then it's just finished with John 13 and 34. And we'll go to the announcements. I promise. Man, I never get to finish class. John 13 and 34. Which sums this all up. That was the last one.
This is the book of John, chapter 13, verse 34.
Mm-hmm.
A new covenant I give unto you.
A new what?
A new covenant.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Salakia. A new commandment I
Mhm.
give unto you,
Mm-hmm.
that ye love one another
Right.
as I have loved you,
Right.
that ye also love one another.
Right. That same love that Christ gave. That was the ultimate love. Dying for your brother. You can't get harder than that. Like you can't beat that. I mean, I could give you everything I have. I'll give you all my possessions. I'll give you all my wealth, all the little riches I have. I give you all my food, everything I have, right? That is not compared to giving my life for you. I'm saying that's what we do here in this brotherhood, in this UPK. We give our life for each other. We give our time for each other. We sacrifice our pleasure. We could be with our wives, with our children. We can be at the amusement park. We can be at the theater. But instead, we're right here withstanding.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right there beside you. Go ahead and finish it with 35.
Verse 35. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples,
Mm-hmm.
if ye have love one to another.
All right. When you show me love outside of the UPK, we're going to have to put them through the test because there's no disciples outside of here.
That's right.
Because nobody else practices brotherhood like we do.
That's
All right. And with that, I'm going to hand the class to where he at? All right, officer, you can call for security announcements.
This is the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10, by Ishra, which means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, Feast of First Fruits, Sunday, June 8th, 2025, start before sundown. You can find this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 10 through 22. And if anybody wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, pant, shirt, headband, scarf. This concludes the ISPK security announcements.
All right, that we're going to march, Mr. Stan. We're going to start and turn to the east. Said the Lord's Prayer in the last one, the Holy Tongue.
I got it. Oh, you want me to read
Go
it?
ahead. No, you said it.
Abanawa,
Abanawa,
Shabbat Shemayim,
Bashamayim,
Quadash, Haya,
Haya,
Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'aratza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Latan Lanawa, Lacham, Ka, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kabwa, Salaki, Kabwawath Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabwawath Yanawa, Wala'a, Tabaya'a Nawa, Panasayawan, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwath, Wahala, Wahataparath, La Walumium, Aman.
And what we said in the English is Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. And I'm going to start. I'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Minister, sisters, you can sit down. Minister, Imagine, Shabbat, Imagine, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah. Imagine. I'm going to start and turn and give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat, Imagine, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
It's like it's do it over again.
Yahweh Shemar Latam B'Hashem Yahushua. Imagine. All right, this one's.